Good morning. Bonjour. Comment ça va? Et toi? Ça va très bien. Ni hao. Hola. Ohio. Bienvenue. Wan Ying. Bienvenidos. Yokoso. And welcome. Welcome to another exciting episode of GemHunterStories. My name is Barry B. Mixon, and I am a gemological storyteller. And each and every week, I have the privilege of coming into your home and taking you on a journey, the place you've never been before, to hear stories you've never heard before. Each week, I get the magnificent opportunity to take you on a mental, physical, and spiritual adventure into the art, science, history, and magic of gemstones, precious metals, and fine jewelry. And when I say magic, I want you to understand it really is magic. Each and every week, I get a chance to rediscover what gemology is. And it's really amazing to me. And I've been studying this for 18 years. And each week, I'm amazed at the synergy between gemstones and people. And oftentimes, and my executive producer can tell you, after the show is over, I'll sit there and say, well, what are we going to do next? And I lots of times have a certain direction that I want to go, but the universe, God, will take me a different direction. And when I step back and look at what that direction is, or how looking at it from a different angle, I see how it comes together. Because it's all about the thing that brings together gemstones and people are the stories. And so when you hear and see my excitement each week, it's genuine. It's not like I'm trying, okay, let me pump myself up. I get so excited that I'm fulfilling the promise that I made to God for so long. Because I told God, as I said to people a long time ago, that 29 years ago when I was homeless, I made a promise to God that if I ever got out of homelessness, that I would spend the rest of my life helping people discover the value of their own stories. And so what makes that so amazing is here I am 29 years later, and the way, and I get a chance to introduce the whole concept of value in a different way. And this is not even just me. This is literally God's work. I feel that each week this is a temple. And I'm going to show you, if you haven't been convinced as of yet, and again, I thank all of you who watch the show, who missed the show when I skip days or something happens. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you being here watching, because today I think will be the crescendo of what GemHunterStories are all about. So today, as we see, I'm wearing red. So happy Valentine's Day, because love shouldn't just be on the 14th. Okay, today is the 6th, the 17th, and love shouldn't just be on Monday. And then, of course, it's over. No, love is every day. Love is every day. Every day, every time, every week we do the show. At the end of the show, I always ask you to take time to not only love yourself, to discover the value of not only your story, but the story of the people around you. I say to you time and time again that nothing has value without a story. Think about it. Nothing in your life that you can talk about has value without a story. Now, last week was hard. We talked about Ronald, and I made the comparison between value in regards to one of my first students. I mean, just someone dying instead of my student, one of my first students I had as a teacher, as a science teacher, when I was actually still a student teacher. I met this wonderful young man named Ronald Coppledge, and he was the one who told me, Baba Mixon, I want to be a science teacher just like you. I want to be a scientist just like you. And it was hard last week to talk about his death, his murder, and thank you guys for all the kind words and support. And when you talk about gemstones in gemology is just like life. There's good things and there's bad things. There's a whole industry that I can talk about as far as gemology, and I will. I've shown you pictures and things of this. But today, this month is about love. So what we're going to talk about today first is we're going to talk about red diamonds. We're going to talk about red diamonds because I want you to see what red diamonds are. I want you to see what it looks like on screen. Let me show you if I can get to it. I don't really figure out how to get to it for some reason. Red diamonds. I want, before I even get to that, because I'm so excited. Sorry. When you're talking about gemstones and the connection, again, I want you to understand that the connection is not just hocus pocus. It's not just metaphysics. I had a woman in my life once who was very much into the metaphysics of gemology, of gemstones and the healing purposes and everything else. And as a scientist, I said to myself, I can't get to that. I don't know how to get to understanding that, because it just seemed like hocus pocus to me. But then as I started studying gemology, I started understanding what the different gemstones are and how that relates to us. And it relates to us on so many levels, other than just something that you see, other than something that you can hold or wear. It's a beautiful thing when you begin to understand what gemology is. How is that shown in real life? What does that look like? I'm not showing anything. Okay, sorry. All right. What I wanted to do is some facilities is not working, so it's okay. All right, so we're going to go on from there. So when you're talking about a red diamond, as I told you, and take out your notes, as I told you, all gemstones, there's two types of gemstones. There are gemstones that are what's called allochromatic, meaning that you have the structure of the gemstone, and then that structure, something comes into that structure, and then the color is changed. It alters the way the light interacts with the light. So here's the structure, the basic format of this gemstone, and then something is added to it, an element. So let's say a ruby. If you're talking about a ruby is made out of aluminum oxide. So when you take aluminum oxide, the basic structure, and add in titanium or iron, you get sapphire. That's why you get the color in all the different colors that in sapphire. But when you look at ruby, which is the exact same gemstone, this ruby and this sapphire is exactly the same family. It's called corundum. And when you take aluminum oxide, which is colorless by itself, and add the element of chromium, you add that, just a hint, just a touch of chromium, you get a ruby. You get a ruby. That's what you get, a ruby. But and most gemstones are like that. But when you look at diamonds, diamonds are like that too. Blue diamonds are blue because of boron. Most diamonds are yellow in color because of the nitrogen. All right. Then you have what's called, so you have your regular diamonds from D to Z, colorless D, all the way to Z. And the Z is the usually in the gemology business and jewelry business are the low grade diamonds. I don't want to mention stores or things of this, but low grade diamond. You know that there's a difference between the quality of diamonds you get at a Tiffany's versus a quality diamond you may get somewhere else, the flea market. So when you add that color in, the way it interacts with the light is different. And the reason why that's so important is because, let me make the first analogy. That's no different than us. That's no different than human beings. We are all human beings. We are all, most of us are fortunate enough to have 2 eyes, 2 legs, things that we're functioning. And it's a matter of what we put in ourselves, meaning our education, the food that we take in, the things that we drink, the things that we see. All those are the things that go inside of who we are. And the way those things are either absorbed or reflected, just like a gemstone. We talked about white light. White light has all the colors of the rainbow. It's called the electromagnetic spectrum, from X-rays all the way down to gamma rays, from radio waves, I'm sorry, one end, all the way to gamma rays, the most powerful rays in the universe, gamma rays. And in the middle, very small part, is what's called the invisible spectrum. Those are your red, orange, yellow, green, Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Those are the colors. So every gemstone, everything you see, the reason why this shirt is red is because that all the material of what you see, basically everything else is absorbed except red. So diamonds fit that same category. The same thing happens to diamonds. Whatever happens, whatever you put in that diamond makes the diamond interact with the light. Whatever you put into people helps them interact with the light. Write that down. The way you are is based on what you have decided to either absorb or reflect. And what the world sees is how you interacted with the light. Then you have red diamonds. Red diamonds are extremely rare. And I'm trying to, this is interesting. Okay. Let's see if we can get this to work at some level. No, not working. All right. So, not working. Anyhow, just to go, and again, my technology is not doing what I wanted to do, but it's okay, because I want you to understand that I want you to see a red diamond in your mind. I want you to see it. And then what I want you to understand is that what makes a red diamond different than all the other diamonds, red diamonds are extremely rare. There's only 20 to 30 gem quality red diamonds in the world. Think about the whole history of diamonds, all the way from the beginning of time to now, thousands of years. And of those thousands of years, of all the millions and millions and millions and millions of carats that you find, a red diamond is different. A red diamond is extremely rare. Now, again, allochromatic, which is something when you put in it. Idiochromatic is when what that color is built in. It's like peridot. Peridot is idiochromatic, meaning that it's part of the structure. So peridot, the thing that makes the coloring agent that makes peridot green, is iron. But the iron is part of the molecular structure of peridot. So let's make that analogy to people. We know this is the Olympics, and we know that there are people competing in the Olympics right now who genetically, they are more, it's not a matter of being better. It's just that genetically their bodies, their shapes, their forms, their flexibilities, the way they see the world is better suited for a certain type of sport. So if you're afraid of going down to going fast with no big protection around you, you're not going to do bobsledding. You're not going to do the luge. You're not going to do those things because you're moving at that speed and you're like, oh my God, that kind of person wouldn't be at the Olympics. Can you imagine? Oh, now our next contestant from the United States of America, Barry B. Mixon, and the color commentator saying, well, look at him, what he's going, and I'm sitting there like, oh my God, I don't want to. You don't want that guy to compete. So idiochromatic is something that's built in. Allochromatic, idiochromatic. Red diamonds are different. Red diamonds come about because, and we all know that diamonds come as a result of pressure and heat. Pressure, 70,000 pounds per square inch. Heat, at least 3,600 degrees Fahrenheit. That's how you make a diamond. What is the, you guys are gemologists. You've been with me for a while. So what is the primary element in a diamond? Carbon, right? Same thing that's in a pencil, graphite, which is made out of carbon, is made out of the diamond. So a diamond is the hardest substance on Earth because of the molecular structure of the diamond. Make the difference between a diamond and a pencil. This is the pencil. Take your two hands, put them together, rub them like that. You feel the heat and everything. That's a pencil. That's why graphite is so soft. A diamond is like this. Try to pull your hands to get apart. That's a diamond. So now, a red diamond, which makes a red diamond so rare, is that the heat and the pressure of a red diamond, of a red diamond, it's wonderful to have an executive producer just on the case. Thank you so much, Barbara. A red diamond goes through extreme pressure, extreme temperature, to the point where it literally changes the lattice, changes the molecular structure of a diamond so profoundly that it's not that something goes in it. It changes the structure and then it becomes red. It becomes red diamond. So that diamond, literally, a red diamond is pure. A red diamond is pure. There are no impurities in a red diamond. It's just that something happened to it so profound. The heat, the pressure, something that no other diamond or very, very few diamonds ever go through, that happened to a red diamond. The substances that we call red diamonds are red because of all the things that go on, of all the diamonds found in North America, Africa, Middle East, China, Alaska, Canada, well, Alaska as well. All those, Australia, all those diamonds have not gone through, and they've gone through a lot, but they haven't gone through what a red diamond has gone through. And out of that becomes what you see. The most beautiful, now I won't say the most beautiful, let me say this. One of the most rarest of all gemstones, is a red diamond. Now here's the link. And for some reason, my thing is, but there's famous, you can look it up later. In fact, that's a homework assignment. Look at some of the most famous diamonds, red diamonds. There's the Hancock red diamond. There is the Robb red diamond. Then there is the Musselef red diamond, which is the most famous of the red diamonds. The Musselef red diamond, which is only the size, is small. It's 5.11 carats. So not only is red diamonds rare, they're small. And then there is the supreme purple star. which is those are the 4 very famous red diamonds. But what I'm going to show you today is another diamond. I'm going to show you today. Today is the day that I prove to you, thank you, Barbara, that I prove to you, that I show you, and I'm a scientist, so it's not about just what I say, it's also what is demonstrated. So I'm going to show you today that there's another kind of diamond that people don't talk about. And that diamond is called the Joshua Jank's diamond. And I'm going to introduce you to one of the greatest diamonds, one of the greatest red diamonds I've ever seen in my life when we come back from the other side. All right, we're back. So, wait, excuse me, I got to give you a proper introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, as a professional gemological appraiser, storyteller, I would like to introduce you to one of the finest examples of a red diamond. Allow me to introduce you to Monsieur Joshua Jank and his wonderful coat diamond, Brenda Janks. Welcome. How are you? Hey, Josh.
You're doing good.
Hey,
you're doing good, Josh. Now, I want you, I'm talking to the audience. Josh, you're talking to people all around the world. So what I want you to do, my audience, is understand and see the same elegance, the same class, the same quiet presence that you would find in a red diamond. I want you to see that in the Josh red diamond. So Josh, good morning. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy every day. How are you?
Doing good. Yeah. Just we're coming off of some COVID, a little bit in the family, but doing good. Christmas and in January were a little rough with with the illness, but we're back to normal, I think.
Wow. Well, Josh, go ahead, Brenda.
Yes, it has been 2022 has been full of lots of hard. Barry, your description of red diamonds has blessed us so deeply because Josh loves to share red diamonds, and he recognizes that they're made under heat and pressure, but we did not know that scientifically the degree, and you are just multiplying the blessings today.
Thank you. Thank you. And what makes it, and I'm going to ask, what makes it really profound is, Josh, are you a gemologist? Just want to make sure, because Josh has done so many things. Hell, are you a gemologist, Josh? I didn't see you in any of my classes. No, okay.
Really, I don't think.
But when you asked what diamonds were made of, he answered carbon. He knew
carbon.
It was carbon.
Yep.
So, and this is, and I'm speaking to Josh and Brenda, but I want the audience to understand the significance of how gemstones pull you in, because I want you to think to yourself, he could have picked any red gemstone. We've been together for over a year in this program. There is rubies, there's red spinel, there's tourmaline, there's so many other red gemstones. What made you pick, Josh, a red diamond?
Well, it started out, that's a good question. The story is, after I had some complications from a previous surgery, we found out a year later that I had a liver condition that was causing toxins to destroy my lungs. So we once diagnosed, there's no cure, except for a liver transplant, but I have sickle cell, which will destroy the new liver. so I'm not eligible for a liver transplant. Anyway, long story short, just was in the hospice house dying. The doctor said I had probably less than a week to live. And I said, so a friend came in and gave me some hearts to give to friends and family, glass hearts to give to friends and family who I would like them to remember me by. And we ran out of these hearts. And my mom said, oh, I'll go out and get some more. And I said, okay. She said, what if we don't have anything red or hearts? And I said, well, just get something red. And well,
right. And so I went to a hobby store, and the clerk and I walked up and down the aisles crying, looking for red things, because he said it has to be for red, because red reminds us of love. And because I wanted Josh to pick what he wanted to share with people, to say, I love you and thank you for your love in my life, as he was saying goodbye to people. And when I saw red diamonds, I bought a whole bunch of different things, but I thought, Josh is enough of a science guy. I thought he's going to go after the diamonds. And so I got back to the hospice house. The hobby store was only a mile away, and Josh picked the diamonds.
Yeah.
And what do you say to people?
Well, here I can show you what they look like. There's a glass jar of them. This is a big jar. And so here's an individual one, what it looks like. I can show it a little bit.
Thank you.
Yeah. And just, I said to people, I said, when I pass them out, it's red for love, and it's a diamond because God does good things under heat and pressure. He will always do good things. Like, people like to say the verse or say something like, God will never give you something you can't handle. Well, the real phrase is, God will never give you something he can't handle.
And we have been through hard at a level. The hospice team that works with Josh calls him the comeback kid.
I've been in the hospice house dying and then come back home 7 times.
And this last round, so rugged. Josh is on 8 to 10 liters of oxygen when he's doing well. And when COVID hit our house, we did everything to protect Josh. And he got COVID, and the hospice team was very honest with us. They said, Josh, he is a strong fighter, and he might fight the COVID, but if he turns to COVID pneumonia, you need to be ready that we'll probably be saying goodbye to our comeback kid. And Josh did end up with COVID pneumonia. And then after that, his blood pressure and his heart rate completely tanked. And it was a bedside vigil time of getting ready to say goodbye to this incredible young man. And once again, Josh is a walking miracle, and we ache. We know there are so many people who are living with COVID who have said goodbye to people they love, and our prayers and our heart. But Barry, maybe Josh came back to be here with your people. How God works. This world needs a message of hope. And Barry, from the first time I met you a couple weeks ago, you are a hope giver. The value that you see in people just is a message that we are so hungry for. And it's that kind of message that makes a difference. And so we are here today, and we never know what, every day is a gift. Joshua is at such risk for a stroke. Joshua's hemoglobin is 2.9. It is so desperately low.
They would consider me, probably, they'd be having me in the hospital if my hemoglobin was below 3?
Oh,
4?
even 7.
7,
6.
yeah. Most people, their hemoglobin is above 7,
Mm-hmm.
and mine's 2.
And every day everyone's jaw just kind of in the medical community drops
Mhm.
open. And every day is a gift. And today is a gift to be with you.
Thank you. Thank you. I want the audience to understand, because this, what I try to do is I say to my opening, art, science, history, and magic. So let me get, so the same way I do with gemstones, let me get you to understand who this young man is. Josh was adopted at six months. At 6 months. At 3 years old, they found that he was diagnosed with sickle cell. This is Africa. This is Black History Month. Sickle cell anemia is a problem. We African Americans we have a disposition towards sickle cell anemia. For those of you who don't know, sickle cell, that's where your blood cell that normally looks like a little donut, now it becomes sickle, and it literally hooks up into your blood vessels, and that's why at 5, Josh had a stroke. Okay, because the blood is not flowing. So here is 6 months he was adopted. Those of you, I have lots of friends who are adopted. So think about that trauma, right? And again, red diamonds. I want you to think about a red diamond, what it goes through, right? Here's a living red diamond. Let me calm myself down, because I mean, just it's unbelievable. 3 years old, sickle cell. 5 years old, gets a stroke. And then when was you diagnosed with? It's called Hepatopulmonary Syndrome.
When I was about 18.
So when he was 18 years old, he found out that he has this serious liver disease, hepatopulmonary syndrome, which means shortness of breath, hypoxia. So he can't breathe. Every breath is work for him. When did you understand that you had to go to hospice? How old were you when you went to hospice?
Right. So
I was probably 18, maybe.
You were 19. You were 19.
19 years old.
I can't. Are you muted?
Oh,
I can't hear you.
Huh.
I don't know.
We haven't touched anything.
Our internet's pretty poor.
Okay, I hear you. I'm sorry. That was me.
Okay.
Duh, my microphone. I can't. Sorry. Okay, we just had
That's all right.
interesting tech problems today. Okay, cool. Anyhow, so when did you know that you had to go to hospice?
So Josh at 18 started getting really sick. And his O2 saturation level was dropping, and no one could figure out what was going on. It was a very painful year for those people out there who wrestle with medical mystery and you're not feeling good. And we were transitioning from pediatric care to adult care, and that's a hard transition. So it took like 11 doctors and traveling to different hospitals. And we finally got the right test to understand hepatopulmonary syndrome. And the doctor at that point was guessing Joshua would have about 24 months to live. And honestly, my husband, Tim, who was going to come home for work, I'm not sure where he is. We live at a camp, and there was a fire in the maintenance building where we store the equipment. First of all, so there was a fire, and camp has been contacted to house a whole bunch of high schoolers who were displaced.
Oh, that.
And so I think he might be taking care of that right now. But that summer, so we Tim and I got the diagnosis from the doctor in May. And to be honest, we weren't ready to tell Josh at that point. We had an oxygen machine in our house, but Josh, he refused to use it. He said oxygen is for people who are dying, or people who are very old. And I'm not dying, and I'm not old. And he was such a fighter. But that summer, everything that could possibly go wrong went wrong. And we actually had a fire here at camp. And Josh is a protector. He's a protector of children and animals and people. And he felt such a duty to be out on the grounds, making sure people were safe. And that taxed his system so badly.
We have some fuel tanks for some of our equipment that we use for maintenance. And I was trying to tell the firemen, you need to get a water line on there, and you need to get the tankers rolling because we don't have hydrant access.
Yeah, it was a pretty dangerous. And so that taxed Joshua's system. And the next day he ended up in the hospital. And we moved, that decision. He was doing so poorly. He could barely talk. He was so out of breath, his O2 level. We knew he had the Hepatopulmonary Syndrome, and the decision was made to move him to palliative care, which means we were moving away from cure to comfort. And we came home on palliative care, and a team came to help us get the support we needed. And Joshua continued to decline so rapidly that he was only in palliative care for 3 days. And then they moved him to hospice care. And then he so rapidly declined. And our youngest child was 12 at the time and was really wrestling with the idea of Joshua dying at home. And so that's when we went to the hospice house, ready to say goodbye to Josh. So he was 19. It was the summer of 2000, actually, in 13.
So yeah, 9 years ago.
I want the audience to understand. When I opened, I was telling you about how rare, let's see how many analogies, how rare a red diamond is. So Josh has a rare disease. He's a rare child. Look at his poise. Look, I mean, I'm crying, Brenda's crying, there's all people all over the world crying, and Josh is sitting there. How old are you now, Josh?
28.
You're 28 years old. I've never actually spoken to a red diamond before. You're the first red diamond. I mean, I talk to gemstones all the time, but my doctor tells me that's just my issues. But they never talk back to me. So I want to ask you, Josh, where do you get the strength? I mean, I'm 61. I spent 14 years in the Marine Corps. I've been terrified by COVID and the whole thing and stuff. Here you have this lung disease, liver disease, that that you have to take oxygen just to breathe. I can breathe, no problem. Where does the strength come from for you to be directing traffic, fires going on? You're the last person that should be there. And you're like, you know what? You need to do this. And they're like, what? You're in hospice. Where do you get the strength?
Just my faith in God. That's mostly where I get it. That's pretty much all of it. I get it from God. So yeah, I wear these bracelets by a company called Mud Love. So it's hard to see them. See if I can show them. There we go.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, there's 4 of them. I have courage. What would Jesus do? Love. And then hope.
Wow. So I'm going to ask you a question. Barbara, do me a favor. Pull up reddiamonddays.org. Pull up Red Diamond Days so we can see the video. You'll see.
It's reddiamonddays.com.
I'm sorry, .com. reddiamonddays.com. You'll see Brenda's face, and let's play that video. But while she's getting that, so tell me, how did Red Diamond Days, why did you pick a diamond? I mean, why do you think, with your understanding of God and love and your family, why did a diamond resonate with you?
To be honest with you, really, it was what my mom found at the hobby store. But I thought a diamond would make sense too. Was a good message after I thought about it for a second. I said, when in life when do the best miracles happen in life? Usually when it's the hardest. And that's when God works his wonderful, wonderful, powerful ways. And so a diamond just said, okay. A diamond just said, I like to tell kids when I talk to them, I say, imagine you get coal for Christmas from Santa because you're not on the naughty list. And you bury that lump of coal deep underground, lots of heat, lots of pressure, and wait a while, and you have a diamond. And God works his hardest when we are under heat and pressure.
Wow. And the audience, I want you to notice, not only just listen to what Josh is saying, but look at his mom. Look at Brenda. Look how proud this mom is of her son, going through all the things that okay, here we go. So enough of me. Let me let you watch Josh and Brenda and Tim come together, celebrating Josh's when he was 25 years of life. Go ahead and play that, Barbara.
Life's a gift. Family is a very big gift. I am a miracle. God has really made our family a miracle, and I thank him every single day.
Before Tim and I were even married, we knew that we wanted to adopt special needs kids. And so in a span of 6.5 years, God opened the door and gave us 5 of the finest, feistiest children he ever assembled under one roof. Of our 5 kids, 3 of them came home through the miracle of adoption and 2 through the miracle of birth. Our oldest son, Joshua, came home to us as a 6-month-old born with sickle cell anemia. Josh had a stroke when he was 5, and he started a lifetime of blood transfusions, which were absolutely life-giving to him. When Josh was 18, he got really sick. He ended up with a diagnosis called Hepatopulmonary Syndrome, and with it, a very shortened life. The doctor thought that he would not have much more than 2 years to live.
In our family, we're never alone. Every day is a gift. Our hope is that we will be together forever in heaven.
Ever since he was little, and he's always had health challenges. So that's just been a part of the fabric of our family. So there's nothing unusual in that way. But moving into hospice has been just a step farther than any of us thought we would have to go. And so day to day, we live with that and work through it. And we know we're approaching that time when it's going to be finished, and he will finish in God's arms. But until that time, we carry on.
Josh looked at me and said, "Mom, I need something to share with people." We found red diamonds. And when we brought those back to Josh, he absolutely lit up. Josh is a little science guy, and he said, "Mom, that's perfect. They're red. And because they're red, I can tell people that love matters."
It's red for love, and it's a diamond because God does good things under heat and pressure. It just means to me, and hopefully the rest of the world, that God is with us even in the smallest packages. You may get coal from Santa Claus when you're mean for Christmas, but just remember, coal can become diamonds, and diamonds are the most valuable thing in the world.
And before long, people were contacting us and saying, "Can we help Josh share red diamonds?" Josh's Red Diamonds mission has grown and grown. And over the last 4 years, more than 700,000 red diamonds have been shared. We have miracle stories from all 50 states, from hospitals to veterans centers to rehab centers, homeless shelters, high schools, colleges. Red diamonds are getting shared in so many different places. And it's a message of hope that's spreading one person to another all over the world.
Monkeys and mountains, moonbeams and me. God is the maker of my family. It's also amazing. We know it's just right. God gave us each other to hug and hold tight.
As a family, we loved curling up and reading books. And we had these books, these I Love You and You Are a Miracle books for our children who came to us through adoption. And we had these I Love You and You Are a Miracle books for our children who came to us through birth. But there was no book for us together. And when Josh was about 9 years old, we made a book. We made a story that shared that I love you story. You know, each person in a family is a miracle, but families are a miracle. More than a bucket list, Josh had a go make a difference list. He wants to help bring love and hope to kids who don't have families.
I think that kids without a mom and dad, what makes my heart ache the most when seeing kids is them not being loved on, is them not having a family to hug when they're sad, to keep them warm when they're cold, to keep them safe when it's dangerous. Don't ever think for a second that there is not someone in this world who would not want to call you son or daughter.
It's our hope and prayer that people will rise up and make a donation to a ministry that they're aware of, that either it takes care of kids in countries where their only option is orphanage, where they are in desperate need of hope and love, or for kids here in the United States. There's tens of thousands waiting for families. We want to release people and give them the gift of this book for their family, for their children, for their grandchildren, that they might be touched in a way to pass that love and hope on as a donation to kids who need a message of love.
We are a blessing. God calls us by name. There's no one like us, no family the same. We are a blessing. God made us just right. He brought us together with joy and delight.
I want to ask you about your make a difference list, but I want the audience to understand the power of God. Again, you guys know where I came from 29 years ago, my promise to God, all right? I became a teacher. The first school I ever worked at was West Park Academy. I met this guy named Jory Grebe, all right? Jory Grebe, I was 7th, 8th grade. Jory Grebe was kindergarten, and he's one of those kind of teachers. You know, I was in the Marine Corps, you know, I had issues, everything. I was just like, get on and give me 20. He's like, I'm only 5 years old. I don't care. You know, I mean, that's so, and Jory was kind of one of these teachers that's just magical. He worked with the little kids, you know, I'd walk in and the kids are all over the place, and Jory would walk in, clap 2 times. If you hear me clap, I mean, I was like, what? So I learned from him. I haven't seen him in years. He reached out to me and he said, Barry, there's somebody I need for you to meet. And I saw the video. I talked to Brenda when she told me about red diamonds, and I was thinking about red diamonds. And when she told me what Josh was doing with the red diamonds, that's when I said, Brenda, do you know what a red diamond is? Yeah. And then I researched it again to make sure that I was right. It's called plastic deformation. That's what happens to make a red diamond. So think about what is happening to Josh. Okay, pulmonary syndrome. Something is happening to his system, and just like plastic deformation makes the most valuable gemstone in the world, something happened to Josh in his molecular structure, and out of that became this unbelievable young man that I'm meeting during Black History Month. I just want to say, all right, okay, Josh is African-American. His mom, his dad is white. So we're talking about gemstones, the story of it coming together, introducing me, and just to let you know, God is working through me right now. And y'all know I don't go to church and everything else. This is church right here. Yeah. This is church right here. So Brenda, how did Red Diamond Days begin to reach other people? Tell us that story?
Yeah. So in the hospice room, it did not take long. Joshua looked at me and said, Mom, I've been sharing the diamonds with friends and with our family. Can I give one to a nurse? And it was, you sure can. And pretty soon everybody in the hospice house And then Josh recovered enough that he actually came home. And we thought, okay, we're going to get a couple precious weeks with this kiddo. And since we work at a camp, we actually had a junior high gathering. We had 170 junior high kids who were coming on camp. And someone was like, Brenda, we've got to get red diamonds. Well, we live in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And at that point already, there were no red diamonds to be found anywhere. And so people were talking to their family and friends in Indianapolis, and they were buying up all the red diamonds and brought them to us.
We have a company now who we buy from all our diamonds. We buy about 50,000 at a time.
From Idaho. We bonded. It's a small little company, and the woman lost her husband, had just lost her husband. And so we cried and cried together. But before that, and that information is on the website. There's a button that says join the team or share red diamonds. And
tell the audience the red site, because I want to let everybody know. Tell the audience the website name.
Yes. So it's reddiamonddays.com. So
it's the proper spelling, multiple D's, multiple S's.
Yes, so there's an S at the end, 2 double D's. And there are pictures and stories. We have stories, Barry, from people from all 50 states and 28 countries.
Wow.
Who are helping join the team because they recognize that people need a message of hope. And so whenever Josh shares a diamond, or I have a diamond, and there's lots of other people, a bag like this goes wherever I go. And so when I connect with a cashier or someone at a restaurant, I go, can I give you a red diamond? And I share Josh's mission, and we pass out these little cards so they can remember. And at the bottom, it says the website. So on the website, you can print off 8 of these little cards on 8 will come out on a printer, and you can cut them up. But so we thought, okay, we'll share some with the people that come to camp. Well, and a friend I had not seen for years and years and years was a 2nd grade teacher, and she came. She remembered Josh from story hour at the library, 15 years. And she came and she said, Josh, do you have enough diamonds? Can I bring them back to my 2nd graders? And it was Susan Curtis that said, let's make little cards. So before that, we were just passing out diamonds. And once that 2nd grade class, Susan gave every child a couple cards and a baggie full of diamonds and sent them on a mission to go make a difference. And that's what Josh is all about. And for some people, it's diamonds. For other people, it's giving everybody a smile and learning their name and saying hi and being quick to just give hugs, to call people up who are lonely, to text someone and encouraging, to just, to be people that, where joy fuels our go every day, no matter what, that I'm going to make a difference in someone's life. And there are days that are rugged hard. And so we don't fake it. You know, when life is hard, and it's been very hard in January, we were honest. We don't gloss over the hard. But our mission is to be people of hope and joy to every single person. And Barry, I know that's your mode of operation.
I'm just sitting here. Okay. Here's a diamond. This diamond would be, if it was a real diamond, 4,600 carats. But this diamond, the size of this diamond is nothing. The power of this diamond is nothing in comparison. Josh, hold up your little diamond. Hold up your diamond. Hold up your diamond. Okay. Hold up your diamond. I'm jealous. Okay. I have this huge diamond. Josh has held this little tiny diamond that would be maybe half a carat, And think about the power of the message of that. And when you pass out, in fact, I had a friend of mine just last night said, I got to buy some diamonds. I have to buy. In fact, I've already put an order in. Okay, Josh.
Okay.
Yes. So imagine most people, when they seeing their end, and when they know they're going to make their transition, you've heard of a bucket list. And I used to think, okay, I'm 61. I need to what's my bucket list? Josh has a mad list, a make a difference list. Tell me, how did that, of all the things you could have done, why did make a difference? Why create a make a difference list?
I just, when I first found out I was dying, I was like, all right, gotta go scuba diving, gotta go skydiving, gotta, see the Super Bowl, whatever. And like, you know what? That's what everybody else does. And I just said, well, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna go my own way. I'm gonna go make a difference instead.
And so, Josh, one of the Josh has on his list have been so many things. Blood donation. Josh, in his lifetime, to keep him from 5 onward from having any more strokes, he required a monthly blood transfusion.
So I've had over 400 units of blood. Yeah.
And so if you are a blood donor, we want to say thank you. Blood donation saves lives. And there are so many sickle cell children. About 95% of sickle cell children wrestle with pain. It's often a disease of pain. There's 5%, and it's grueling pain. It's for 5%, they tend not to have pain, but like Josh, they tend to have strokes. And so because of those transfusions, they were absolutely life-giving. And so Josh has been a part of blood donation drives with the Red Cross. We go to the Red Cross and we thank the folks and pass out diamonds. And so that was one of the first things on his list. Josh also worked at raising some money for people who were hungry, for children at an orphanage in Mexico. And through so many miracles, we learned that there was a 12-year-old boy in China who had very significant cerebral palsy, and came to the United States on a tour, hoping that all the children from this orphanage in China would be able to find a family. And so we were praying for those children. And Josh, where his heart is, we were driving home from the hospice house back to our house. And we had heard Josh, his name was Jing. Did Jing find a family? And we said, Josh, he didn't yet. And Josh's response to that was,
it's just, you know what? My bed's going to be empty, Mom. You got to go get him.
My bed is going to be empty soon. Mom and Dad, you need to adopt him.
Wow.
And I said, oh, sweetie, I'm not sure we're in a place to be able to do that. And then his response was,
I'll do it myself.
I'm 19. I'll adopt him, Mom. And
wow. Well,
said,
we could be on forever, and my producer's sitting there like, you're looking at the time. Barbara, I am lost. I apologize. Oh my God. I just want to let you know, Josh, Brenda, thank you. Have been a blessing. I want to give a shout out to Jory Greeby. Thank you, Mr. Greeby. He's teaching right now, but he'll watch it. Thank you, Mr. Greeby, for bringing this miracle into my life. Thank you, Joshua. In fact, I don't even say Joshua. Thank you, Joshua. Now I'm going to have to read the Bible and find out who Joshua was in the Bible. And it's like, there's so many people who are my Christian friends are like, it's about time. So thank you so much for allowing me to continue the promise that I made to God. You are definitely an angel. Please go on to all my viewers. Please go to reddiamonddays.com. There's a book, God's Gift of Family. Please just absorb yourself. If you talk about absorb what Josh and Brenda has brought today. Absorb what love, what family, what coming together. Notice we didn't see colors. Notice all the diamonds we saw, we didn't see. All you see are diamonds. all you see are diamonds. And that's what I was saying when does a diamond become a diamond? Well, Josh was born a diamond. He was born a diamond. Josh, you will be in my heart and in my life forever. Thank you for just empowering so many people all over the world. Thank you. We're going to have you. We're going to have you back. And
All right.
Again, thank you so much. And to all of my viewers, as I say, my name is Barry B. Mixon, and I'm a gemological storyteller. And what I want you to do each and every week is take time to look at yourself, to look at your friends, look at your family, look at your life, and to discover the value of your own story.
Yeah.
This is what it looks like. This is the synergy between gemstones and people. And again, allow me to introduce you to two of the greatest diamonds in the world, the Josh Diamond and the Brenda Diamond. Voila!
Thank you,
guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Raise your hand if you've ever been busy. Raise your hand if you've ever got tired and feel like you just need a couple days off. Most people would have both hands up right now. That's our world, fast-paced and income-driven. That's why we get caught up in our own lives so often, and that's why it's understandable when most people don't focus on worries that aren't their own. So what makes someone become a humanitarian? Someone whose whole life focuses on the welfare of other humans.
When you go back and you see kids that were living on the streets, kids had no structure, they had no routine, people who had nothing, they didn't have meals. When you see that they're all of a sudden they're waking up, they have structure, they have something to do, they have a meal in their belly, their life changes completely. They like I said, their self-esteem changes, their self-worth, their ability to know who they are in the world and what they have the potential of becoming. You know, to give that hope, to give that dream, and then to watch people actually use that to do good for themselves and others it's amazing. It becomes an addiction.
And with Serena's help, we'll find the meaning of life to a humanitarian.